Hi, I'm Judy Griffin with Aroma Health Texas, and today we're going to make a new blend. This is one that Queen Victoria wore in the 1800s. She passed away in 1901, and about that time is when the synthetic fragrances came in. So this is kind of the last of the most famous use of truly natural essential oils and absolutes. Now, Queen Victoria had 8 assassination attempts on her life during her very long reign. 8. So she had a fear of crowds. She really didn't like getting out in crowds. And in her day, you know, they were in horse and carriage. And she had people try to shoot her, and she did actually get beaten by some guy's metal-tipped cane one time. So she was scarred for life, I think. So she had a good reason not to feel too comfortable in crowds. And during her reign, there were a lot of European royalty that fell and were no more. So she was also concerned about her position. So what we're working on today as far as a primal fear that will go along with this wonderful blend that she enjoyed and that kept her calm while she was in crowds is fear of crowds. Nowadays people are afraid because there's so many mass shootings. There are some people who are just uncomfortable in crowds. She felt like, she shouldn't be, but she felt like she was a victim, and that can, in our lives, can be, well, we're always the one that gets in trouble, or we're always the one that gets caught, or gets blamed, or doesn't fit in with the crowd. That would all help us by using this blend. So take it seriously. It's going to be fun. And it's different. We're going to start with a low note. We have our ounce. You can use 70% alcohol, which has to be Everclear, or Perfume grade alcohol, which is 200%, and 30% water. Or you can use sweet almond oil or some carrier oil, just that, whichever you prefer. And our low note this time is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a combination of patchouli, which to me is a real stinker. And you wouldn't think it would go with floral type blends, but you'll see. Patchouli is excellent for bringing out the flavor of rose, and it's been described as, and we use 2 little drops there in a whole ounce, that you can smell the rose petal by petal opening up. So it's quite enhancing. Now, we're only using 2 drops of patchouli because it's really strong. If you like patchouli, you can use more and less of sandalwood. Sandalwood is an absolute. I'm going to use 4 drops. That will help. Patchouli is very grounding, and sandalwood will help like smooth that flavor that patchouli has that is quite spiking. It really gets you see it in hippie perfumes and things like that, but it was quite popular during the time as a low note. And then she liked lavender. This age and time was the time and the age of lavenders. So this is perfect for the blend because lavender is so calming. I'm using an absolute. You can use the essential oil of lavender of your choice if you like. I'm going to have 10 drops in here. And the Absolute is very viscous, very green. Oh, it smells wonderful. Absolutes have the true fragrance of the plants, much more so than essential oils. Now, here we have some options. In Queen Elizabeth's time, and her herself used rose with lavender, and we would use 5 drops of that. We use 10 drops of lavender. I don't care for rose and lavender. I love them both, but when I put them together, my nose just doesn't get enough of either one. So I'm going to use something else that was very popular in that time, and that is our sweet violet. We make a natural fragrance of it, and it's very sweet. It's also good because it kind of represents innocence, and in this blend, it's the victim that we're really working with. You might laugh, but it was serious in her life, but also in people's lives. If they're ADHD, if they're, the black sheep of the family, if they're, if they don't fit in right, they very often become the victims. And sometimes these people, they just have a different perception of life. It is very creative, and we should pay more attention to it. However, you know how that goes. So then for the victim consciousness, and remember, we all have some of this somewhere, whether it's triggered often or not. We're using the Petit Fleur essence that we make, called Japanese Magnolia. It's not an essential oil, but it is a fragrance, and it very much helps, especially with people that have a lot of pain, because they're victims in that. So it's very versatile, and it'll fit in this blend without taking away from it or adding to it. That's going to change the scent. That's sweet. That's very nice. Now, if you don't want sweet violet, you can use rose. I suggest Rose Absolute because it has the most scent to it naturally. It has the true scent of the flower, and it'll meld really well with that little bit of patchouli. And next, we're going to use, our top note is going to be bergamot, which goes with everything, and it really goes well with lavender and all these other essential oils, and neroli. So I'm using 5 drops of bergamot because I really like neroli, and 4 or 5 drops of neroli. Here's the story about Queen Victoria and orange blossom. Orange blossom was her favorite scent, and she wore this for Prince Albert, who became her husband. He gave her orange blossom necklaces, and she wore the perfume for him, and it's very meaningful for her, and she enjoyed it, and sometimes just by itself. That's it. You want to try it? Come on. We can always add to it, especially a high note, because you like that?
That's nice.
That's good enough. And if you ever have, a blend that goes flat on you, or it just, add high notes. Add high notes, especially citrus, lemon, and neroli, and such. Bergamot will really, perk up your whole blend. So it's good to smell before you cap it and make sure that's what you want. We're capping it. not Prince. Well, Prince Albert, I think he got kind of tired of the orange blossom everything, so he wanted something softer, and this is what she came up with for a perfume. So this became her perfume of choice because she did everything for him to please him, let me put it that way. And he passed away, and it broke her heart, and after that, she didn't have him to lean on, and she was very reclusive also. She changed her perfumes, and she went to high amounts of the civet and the more animalistic scent, which they used at that time. Now we use Embretzi, or you can use a chemical substitute of civet. And she did that because she didn't feel like she had his constant support right there. So she had to be more authoritarian. So she wanted to have a scent that made her feel stronger, and even stronger along when she had to meet with the Prime Minister or do official things. Interesting, because she had such a long range. She really had a nice display of different perfumes that went with different times in her life. I just think that's interesting. You can get these, come here and tell me, you can get these products if you like at the descriptions at the bottom of the page. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you can always call me or email me, and whatever you need, we'll get it for you if we don't already have it. Sometimes we don't have enough of different ones to keep them on the website all the time, so we just keep them for special people, special orders. Now we're going to look what I did. I got it ready before I even started. I've got Queen Victoria, and if I wanted to, I could put the whole recipe on a tab like this. If you're not remembering how many drops of what you put in there, it's a good way to have that. And then the date, because we're going to wait 3 weeks, and you're going to see a big, beautiful difference. And this is a blend that both men and women enjoy. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you back in a week, and I look forward to your questions and comments. Please like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.